Hello folks, a bit late with this one. This is Anthony Cacace stopped Leigh Wood in 9 rounds in an absolutely fantastic fight on Saturday night. I've actually been away visiting family in Manchester the past few days, so I've only just got back. And yeah, what a brutal fight. What an absolutely brutal, wonderful, brutal fight. It's beautiful and brutal at the same time. Wonderful fight, so entertaining from start to finish. Anthony Cacace stopped Leigh Wood in the ninth and the towel came in. Look, both guys gave it their all from the first bell. They both went for it. Leigh Wood's been out of the ring for a while. Former WBA featherweight champion moving up to super featherweight. You know, he was at a disadvantage because obviously Cacace's an actual bigger man. And he's a former IBF super featherweight title, never won champion, never lost it in the ring. Yeah, I think he was the IBO. He's still the IBO champion, but let's be honest, not a lot of people give that much of a shit about the IBO. It's just the way it is. Yeah, and both guys, they just absolutely gave it their all. And Leigh Wood tried his best. He was having success, but a lot of his punches, although they were effective, overall the more effective work throughout the whole fight was coming from Anthony Cacace. He was just, those long arms. He had a height and reach advantage. He was whacking away to the body. He was just having so much success with the straight right hand, the right uppercuts, left hooks to the body. It was a matter of time really. What was going to happen? He scored a knockdown early in the ninth. I think it was a left hook sent Wood crashing, like almost falling backwards, but the ropes caught him, and the referee ruled it a knockdown. I don't necessarily like that. I know it happens. I understand why the referee, counted. I'm not arguing the point, but I like to see when a guy actually hits the deck, then or his glove touches or something like that. Then fair enough, start counting. But he came back. He fought back well. He was trying his best, but it was just a matter of time. Cacace was just battering him to the body. I mean, he nearly went down again from a body punch later on in the round. And he was so brave, Leigh Wood. I mean, at one point he literally turned his back briefly, and to me that's a sign of surrender. And the corner threw the towel in. I've seen a few people, usually the usual stuff you see online, people moaning and griping, early stoppage or bad stoppage. Look, he was getting a pasting in there. He turned his back briefly, or turned away at least. That's a sign of surrender. Whether he meant to or not, he's weakening. He was falling apart. Cacace was hurting him, and he really hurting him, especially to the body. So I didn't have an issue with the stoppage. I thought it was a good stoppage. I felt desperately sorry for Leigh Wood. Been a big fan of Leigh Wood for a long time. Obviously that fight of the year a couple of years ago against Conlon, absolutely brilliant. The 2 fights with Mauricio Lara, fantastic. Obviously he's moved up. I don't know where he's going to go from here. He's 36. I mean, he's not old. Certainly not old. He's definitely young, a lot younger than me. But where can he go from here? I'm not saying he should retire, but I wouldn't be surprised if he does. And Cacace, I'd like to see Cacace get in there with some of the other champions at super featherweight. Whether or not he'd necessarily win that, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see. Give the guy a chance. Give him a shot at Navarrete or somebody. Absolutely fucking fantastic fight. We've been spoilt for good fights this year. We're only in May, and we've had some fantastic fights. So I thoroughly enjoyed this one. Really pleased for Anthony Cacace. He's a very entertaining fighter. Just be interesting to see where he can go from here. But I really enjoyed this one. From start to, I mean, we knew what we were going to get with it. Leigh Wood's a warrior, Anthony Cacace's warrior. We knew what we were going to get, and they didn't disappoint. It was absolutely fucking brilliant. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, all right, that's enough out of me. Hope you're all well. Take care, folks. I'll speak to you soon.